Hi, this is Marsha Millsaps, and today, like I said, I was feeling kind of down, so I wanted to do something different. I tried to go live with the story, but I had too many technical difficulties, so we're just going to record it. Give me your honest opinion about the story. It's something I wrote about 5 years ago. I've been sitting on it, and your input will help me decide if I want to go further with this. Okay, it's called Blue. Very good story, I think, but you can let me know. Beatrice looked out the window and saw the beautiful blue sky. So nice, she said to herself. The color blue is everywhere. The sky, the flowing blue waters of the sea, the bluebirds, and so much more. Beatrice closed her eyes and had blue dreams. It was so nice to be blue. Blue is the next color. She was very excited about the color blue today. It had been a long time for the color blue. Red had a blast, and so did yellow. Soon it would be blue's turn. It had been hard living in the red and yellow world for so many years. Soon it would be over, and blue would reign. This is our world. It started out as an all-white world where everybody looked exactly alike. White, white skin, even white hair. Jane looked exactly like Sally and Betty and Gwen. The men looked the same too, dull and boring. A scientist decided the world needed some color. A law was passed, and that people would have to take a pill. You didn't know which color you were given. The pill would change you from white to a primary color: red, blue, or yellow. Once you take the pill, you were changed forever to one of the primary colors. There were an equal amount of each color. When everybody had taken the pill, the world was a colorful place. Problems arose because everyone wanted to be special. Everyone wanted to be in charge and on top. There was a lot of fighting for status and for everything else. The government made a law to see what group was better. Every 10 years, a color was chosen to lead. That color would be in charge of everything: the government, social status, jobs, education, everything. A committee of 6 people, two from each color, would observe everybody and everything. The committee was called the Rainbow. Now, this committee watched as each color ruled for 10 years. They watched to see how they treated people. The Rainbow Committee would watch and see how each color handled the power they were given. It was up to each color to change or do whatever they wanted to decide what the other colors would take in society. What role would they play? Red had control for just 5 more days. Red had established laws that only the Reds would benefit from. Reds would own property and they could get an education. And during the yellow reign, some of the other colors were allowed limited benefits, only if they learned, and only what they learned helped the yellow people. Because of this rule, Beatrice learned how to cook and clean. She worked for many yellow families. The yellows were easier to live with, and they allowed more privileges for all colors. Even though yellow was more lenient to other colors, the separation was hard and unfair. Reds made all colors their slaves because they could. Blue and yellows lived in slums as the Reds paraded around in their fine clothes and rich properties. The only difference in the people was the color of the skin. We're not sure what was learned by the Rainbow Committee as they watched the red and the yellows reign. They will make a decision very soon after each color has ruled. The last color is blue. The rainbow wants unity and equality for all, and Beatrice remembers when the yellows were first to rule. Beatrice was only 3 years old when the yellows took over. She really didn't remember too much about the 10 years the yellows ruled. Under the yellow rules, you had to be 12 years old to work. So for 1 year, Beatrice learned how to cook and clean for yellow leaders. Beatrice remembers the red more because she was older and could really see how hard it was for the yellow and blue people. They thought the Reds' reign would be better, but they were wrong. The red years were hell. Beatrice's parents worked all day in the factories and had to stand in line for hours to get food rations. Beatrice was 13 when the Reds took over, and the first thing they did was order all yellow and blue people to get a number, and that's how they identified everyone. Blue has not been in charge yet, so they are treated better than the yellow people. The Reds were really angry with the yellow people because of how they were treated, while the yellows had a reign of 10 years. Reds made sure that the yellow had it worse than the blues. All the yellows had their fancy cars and homes taken away from them when their reign was over. They made the yellow people work in the minefields and help generate energy for the Reds' home and businesses. If yellow or blue people protested, they were thrown into a refugee camp and were forced to eat things like bugs and live in filthy cells. Most people didn't protest. Why? What was the point? Under the red rule, no one that was yellow or blue could have eye contact with the Reds, or they could be publicly beaten. It's been a long and horrible 10 years. The Rainbow Committee started studying each color and see how they acted, but they're waiting on the blue to see what they will do. Then they will make a decision. 4 more days till it's ruling. That's the end of part 1.